just the two of us. We can make it if we try. Just the two of us. Just the two of us.
Through social media.
The internet didn't just shake, it detonated. In the quiet early hours of the morning, while most of the world was still asleep, a single rumor tore through social media like a lightning strike. There was no warning, no buildup, no slow burn. One moment timelines were calm, and the next they were on fire. By the time the sun rose, careers, reputations, and deeply personal relationships were already hanging by a thread. At first, it looked like chaos without a source. Screenshots appeared out of nowhere, vanished just as quickly, then resurfaced again. This time with blurred usernames, half-cropped captions, and raw, uncensored emotion. People scrolled past at first, assuming it was just another piece of overnight clickbait designed to bait engagement. But that illusion shattered the moment one name began trending worldwide: Remy Ma. Alongside her name was a single word that froze timelines in place: rebound. That one word changed everything. Insiders say this was no accident. This wasn't a typo, a careless post, or a joke taken out of context. According to sources close to the situation, this was deliberate. A calculated shot, fired with precision, aimed directly at Claressa's carefully maintained composure. The message beneath the surface was unmistakable. Someone feels replaced. Someone feels overlooked. And someone is not handling it quietly. What makes the situation even more explosive is the timing. Just as Claressa and Papoose finally stopped hiding, just as they stepped fully into the public eye together, the past came roaring back with a vengeance. For weeks, fans had been watching the shift unfold in real time. Public appearances became more frequent. Viral videos showed shared laughter and unguarded moments. Open affection replaced subtle hints. There was no more denying what had clearly become real. And that visibility, sources say, may have been the final trigger. Behind the scenes, whispers suggest that what the public is seeing online is only the tip of the iceberg. Allegedly, there are private messages that never made it to the timeline. Emotional voice notes filled with unfinished conversations. Old wounds that never truly healed, suddenly ripped open again. The internet may be reacting to screenshots, but insiders insist the real damage is happening far away from public view. Emotions, according to those close to the situation, are spiraling fast. Alliances are quietly shifting. Friends are choosing sides behind closed doors. And someone who truly believed they had moved on is now confronting an uncomfortable truth. Watching another woman live freely, happily, and unapologetically can be unbearable. Social media, predictably, has gone into full meltdown mode. Twitter erupted into open warfare within minutes. Fan pages began posting timelines, side-by-side photos, and speculative breakdowns of every interaction from the past year. Reaction videos flooded TikTok. Comment sections turned into battlegrounds where every word was dissected and every emoji analyzed. Some rushed to defend. Others were quick to accuse. Neutrality became nearly impossible as people felt compelled to pick a side. What's striking is how deeply personal the reactions have become. This is no longer just celebrity gossip. For many, it's touching on themes that feel uncomfortably familiar: replacement, heartbreak, jealousy, and the difficulty of letting go. Viewers aren't just watching a story unfold. They're projecting their own experiences onto it, which only adds fuel to the fire. Sources close to Claressa insist she's staying silent on purpose, choosing composure over chaos. But silence, as the internet knows well, only creates more speculation. Every hour without a response becomes its own headline. Every new post, no matter how unrelated, is analyzed for hidden meaning. Meanwhile, Remy Ma's name continues to trend, pulled in every direction. By speculation, defense, criticism, and curiosity. Some believe the word rebound was a moment of vulnerability slipping through the cracks. Others are convinced it was a strategic move meant to reclaim attention. Either way, the impact is undeniable. What happens next remains uncertain. Insiders warn that more could surface at any moment. Messages, receipts, or confirmations that shift the narrative once again. If that happens, there will be no rewrites, no takebacks, and no way to control the fallout. For now, the internet waits, refreshing timelines, watching closely, knowing that this story is far from over. Because once emotions spill into the public eye, there's no closing the door again, only bracing for what comes next.
Yeah, that's why I said I love him. I love having his support, you know what I'm saying? His support is like very, very different from what I've had in the past, and how he speaks to me and stuff is very different. There we go. We deserve each other. But I don't know, it's kind of one of those things. I was like, I want to keep him all to myself. I didn't really, I don't mind people knowing that we're together and stuff, but I wanted to just, enjoy us together without the eyes of other people having to judge. People saying stuff like, well, I've heard a lot of good things, and because I can read too, but it's like some people say stuff like, oh, if I downgraded or if he downgraded or if he upgraded, and it's like, that's not what love is about. Because I think we both feel like we both upgraded, but it's...
Videos began flooding timelines, dissecting every facial expression, every caption, every pause. Nothing went unnoticed. And here's the terrifying part. Insiders claim this is only the beginning. Once certain screenshots drop, once specific recordings surface, nothing, and no one, will come out clean. By the time sunrise hit the East Coast, the damage was already irreversible. The original post was gone, scrubbed as if it had never existed. But the internet doesn't forget. Screenshots had already escaped into the wild, multiplying faster than any PR team could hope to contain. Insiders say Remy Ma never expected it to move like this. Allegedly, she believed it would stay within a tight circle. A sarcastic jab, a private vent, a moment of bitterness shared among people she trusted. Instead, it detonated across social media with surgical precision. One word echoed everywhere: rebound. And once it attached itself to Claressa Shields' name, it stuck like a scarlet letter. Suddenly, the story stopped being about romance and became something far uglier. A public humiliation nobody asked for, but everyone consumed. What made the situation unbearable wasn't just the insult itself, it was the symbolism. Claressa wasn't anonymous or hidden. She was confident, visible, undefeated in her own arena, and now openly standing beside the man Remy once called her forever. Sources claim Remy felt like the internet was laughing at her, replaying her pain in slow motion, while celebrating another woman's glow-up. Friends say she spiraled quietly at first, watching clip after clip of Claressa and Papoose together. Their body language was dissected by strangers who didn't know the history, the sacrifices, or the nights no one saw. Then the leaks began. Nothing official, nothing confirmed, just enough to make people believe. Alleged screenshots of late-night messages started circulating in fragments. Timestamps were cropped, names blurred, but the tone was unmistakable. Familiar nicknames, references to shared memories, inside jokes that predated the chaos. Insiders insist these weren't new conversations. They were reminders, emotional breadcrumbs dropped intentionally, meant to pull someone back into a past that still felt unfinished. People close to Remy say she wasn't trying to start a war. She was trying to reclaim something she believed was slipping through her fingers. Meanwhile, Claressa did the opposite of hiding. She stepped forward with calm confidence, reposting videos, thanking Papoose publicly, and allowing the world to see what support looked like to her. One clip showed her walking into a weigh-in, focused and grounded, with Papoose right behind her, a quiet declaration that sent the internet into another frenzy. Some called it strength. Others called it provocation. Insiders say Remy saw it as confirmation. Not just that he had moved on, but that he was proud to be seen doing it. Behind closed doors, tensions escalated quickly. Claressa was reportedly advised to stay silent and let the noise burn out. Instead, she hinted that there was more she couldn't speak on yet. Not now, not before certain moments passed. That single tease sent shockwaves through fan circles. People immediately assumed there were receipts being held back. Messages, recordings, truths that could flip the narrative entirely. And just like that, the power dynamic shifted. Social media turned into a battlefield overnight. Hashtags formed. Fan pages split into camps. Some defended Remy as a woman reacting to betrayal, pointing to years of loyalty and sacrifice that couldn't be erased by a few viral clips. Others rallied behind Claressa, praising her for refusing to shrink herself to protect someone else's comfort. Reaction channels went live around the clock, pausing footage frame by frame, analyzing tone shifts and caption wording like it was a crime scene. Then Papoose spoke, and the silence broke into something sharper. Calmly and flatly, he denied the narrative being pushed. He claimed the public didn't know the full story, and never had. Insiders say he felt cornered, watching two versions of his life collide online while strangers filled in the blanks. He hinted at long-standing issues, private struggles, and repeated attempts to find peace without spectacle. That reframed everything. Suddenly, this wasn't just about a rebound comment. It was about what happens when unresolved pain meets public validation. As the back and forth intensified, more alleged leaks surfaced. Deleted posts reappeared in screenshots. Messages that vanished within minutes had already been archived. One source claimed Remy felt manipulated, watching a narrative paint her as bitter, while ignoring everything that came before. Another insisted Claressa felt violated, dragged into a war she didn't start but was being blamed for anyway. Both sides felt attacked. Both sides felt wronged. And the man at the center of it all was trying to outrun a story that refused to slow down. Late one night, a grainy voice note began circulating in private spaces, emotional, allegedly recorded in a moment of anger. It didn't name names, but the message was clear. Someone felt mocked, replaced, and pushed to the edge. The clip cut off abruptly, right as the speaker hinted at knowing something that could change everything. There was no follow-up. No confirmación. Just silence. And silence, in moments like this, screams louder than any post. As pressure mounted, Claressa doubled down on visibility, speaking openly about love, support, and refusing to compete for anyone's validation. But the internet wasn't listening for peace. It was listening for blood. This was no longer just gossip. It was a decade-long history unraveling in real time, with a new chapter being written over the ruins of an old one. And beneath the noise, one truth became impossible to ignore. This wasn't about a single word or a single post. It was about endings that never healed, beginnings that didn't ask permission, and the kind of silence that doesn't mean closure. It means preparation. And this story isn't done yet.